Hello everyone, welcome to another Power Talk with Archana. Taking forward my series on Power Women, I have Priya Krishnan with me. Priya is a part of my professional network and based here in Bengaluru, India. London Business School alumni, she took to entrepreneurship as she decided to return to India after having spent her life as a corporate leader in UK. Priya is the founder and board member of Claim, India's leading childcare and parenting partner, an early years expert with over 150 company owned and company operated high quality on site preschools for corporates like Unilever, ITC, L'Oreal, Johnson& and Johnson's to name a few. They have their presence across Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, and Chennai. Spearheading a team of more than 3,500 support staff, 11,000 children and counting, a doting proud mom of two teenage boys, winner of the Women Entrepreneurs of the Year, Economic Times Startup Award 2019, Priya is indeed a power woman. Let's welcome Priya on board. Hello, Priya. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Pleasure is ours, Priya. Good to have you with us. So tell me, Priya, around the time you made up your mind to turn into an entrepreneur from your successful and a rewarding career at the corporate sector in UK, you came down to India and started your mega chain of these prep schools. But that space was quite niche at that time with many other prep schools already doing very well in Bengaluru. How did you make this into a mega chain of prep schools?
It wasn't a mega chain when I started, but I think when I moved back, one was that I had felt that I was successful because I had access to high quality childcare, and I was able to balance a career, have my children, be a mom to the kids while pursuing my career because I had access to childcare. And I saw a lot of my own teams not having that access. So the need was clearly there.
Yeah.
And while preschools are around and the notion that grandparents were around to look after children and there was the informal housemaid situation, which was largely used when grandparents weren't around. I think there was a huge amount of dissatisfaction with preschools. It
Yeah.
was, the fact that it was 2 or 3 hours. With grandparents, they couldn't be around all the time. They're the best, care that a child can get. But cities are expensive. Grandparents have their own lives. They don't necessarily want their lives to revolve around their grandchildren all the time. And then the maid situation, there was a lot of delinquency, attrition, quality of interaction, all sorts of challenges that parents were feeling. I think there was a
Yeah.
market gap, and what we did was really focused in a laser sharp way to say what is the unmet demand of the customer and how do we look to service it. I think as a mom, what I knew was most mothers will settle very grudgingly for what they can provide at home, equal to that. What would really sort of delight them is when they find something that was way better than what they could provide at home. That's
Yeah.
when the guilt sort of gets alleviated and they're able to go back to work, as guilt free as they can.
Right. I think that was a very intelligent move indeed, Priya. Understanding that gap in the market and women who always wanted to work. I think it was quite an intelligent move to have a very high quality prep school right within the periphery of the corporate, so that the mothers could keep had access to visit the child in the prep school and also keep themselves engaged in their work at the corporates. I think that was something really intelligent. Being a mom yourself, running a chain of mega schools today, you have your plate full. You have a big team definitely to support you. But I'm sure there's lots more. How do you juggle between your time and home and family? What advice today you would like to give to budding entrepreneurs? Because time management is something that really needs to be, taken well care of. Otherwise, everything goes haywire. So, what would you like to share with them?
I think three things that you can't, one, because you're a woman, you can. Inherently, you're born with the ability to multitask.
Yeah.
Second is be easy on yourself. You can't be everywhere at all points in time. So if there is a PTM that is critical and you're skipping the board meeting, be in the PTM. Don't split your time between the PTM and then thinking about what you're missing in the board meeting, and vice versa. So be 100% wherever you are. And the third, I think, which is really, really important, is finding the time for oneself. Because if you focus, it's the whole notion of oxygen mask on yourself before others. So if you find the time to first be happy and content, and mentally in a good place yourself, then you are equipped to deal with these multiple things that come along. And as women, I think it's children, it's work, it's in-laws, it's parents, it is scheduling, clean, the cleaning of the household, cooking of the household. So there's a whole host of things, and letting them slip once in a while is not a it's I think women just need to stop being as hard on themselves for letting one of those aspects slip up.
Right. I think you're quite right. But I also realized, while I was interacting with your, team there at Clay School, I realized you also offered a lot of, ways in which, things were made easier for working moms. You had a lot of the kind of parent engagement you had for the parents, the moms. I think it was quite easy for them, even if they had to miss a PTM, things were quite very well executed for them to be in touch with what's happening at the school. So I think parents were quite happy all along. Great, Priya, tell me, with the team, the kind of team you have, what is the best decision you've taken so far? Or what do you think has been your best decision that actually led to where you are today?
Best decision was to start up, and I think mentally prep myself. I think part of the reason why I say the best decision was to start up was when I started up, it was with the intent of helping women go back to work. What I didn't realize was that we were also creating secondary income for all the women we hire, at Clay. So I think, it's for me, this is my true purpose in life. So it solves for two things. I love children, and I think investing in children early on is the best thing you can do for them. I love enabling women to go back to work. It is a space that I'm truly committed to. It has a purpose. You feel like you make a difference and an
Yeah.
impact in people's lives. I think the best decision I made wasn't that my corporate career was not satisfying. I think what really was the missing part of that puzzle was now I run a corporate chain pretty much here as well, where I started it up and now it's being run by a very able team. The I think the satisfying piece was that it also serves a purpose and it's something that one is passionate.
Right. Great. We are having achieved so much, you have the best of both the worlds. Is there anything that still pinches and, you wished you would have reversed or, done a different way altogether?
I think probably maybe having started up earlier, but there is a right place and a right time for everything. For us, the fact that we started up and then the government had the maternity bill really served as an inflection point for us to be able to enable a lot of organization. Uh, if I'd started up 5 years back, it might not have got the same degree of, uh, I guess, growth as we saw in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, COVID notwithstanding. But outside of that, no regrets. I think if you can look back, reflect on things, learn from them, and say, I will not repeat them. I
Yeah.
think regrets are a waste of time. So really, my thought process has always been think back, say, how would I have done it differently, and how do I ensure I don't repeat it?
Right. I think that's very important in life for everybody to keep moving on and not get stuck with those thoughts because they are damn decelerating to your growth and they don't deserve to be a part of anyone's life. Great.
Right.
Tell me, Priya, you have been an inspiration for so many people. People look up to you. I'm sure you have so many women working for you, your support staff, and they look up to their leader. So you're a source of inspiration for so many of them. But who is that one person who really inspires you every single day to wake up, take up the challenges, make world a better place for women, for your children, for the parents who are associated with you? You're trying to make a difference every single day by, easing out lives of so many people around you. Who inspires you really?
I think I've said this many times over. My biggest inspirations actually been my mom. Though
Yeah.
she was, she worked, she quit, and she was around us because my father used to be a pilot. And she took that very important decision to be around me and my sister. I always say that if I'm half the mother that she is, I would be very successful. To try and see how one can enable other people like to be successful parents. And that whole notion of saying, parenting is a lonely journey, especially urban parenting. You don't have nobody gives you a handbook and says this is how you raise a child. But the notion of saying trust your instincts, spend time, be vulnerable, accept those mistakes around your own children. I think a lot of that my mom set as an example for me, and I've always seen her as this amazingly driven woman, but by the same measure, incredibly content with herself. So I hope, like I said, I hope I turn out to be half
Absolutely.
of.
Absolutely. I always tell people, if you really want to see, and understand how to handle a situation, you should just look back at your mom's life, because that's quite a manual in itself. She has, I mean, that manual has every solution possible, and you will find solutions to your problems for sure. I mean, the way she's handled her life, anybody's mom for that matter. It's a manual in itself, a learning experience, and we all can, derive inspiration from the way she's handled her life. Great. Lovely, Priya. Tell me one thing. I mean, there are people who find it really difficult to accept the situation they are in, like maybe women who are wanting to go back to work, but they are not able to. Like, if we talk about today's time and the entire globe is hit by this pandemic and there is an economic mayhem, people have lost their jobs, but they've not been able to really recover from this shock. They've not been able to accept this. There are people who have lost jobs, want to get into entrepreneurship. People who have been entrepreneurs are now looking for jobs. So what advice would you like to give to such people to tell them that it's important to move on, and how should they treat their life going forward? What is it that they should do now?
I mean, I don't think there's a global mantra that's out there. It's what I would tell my kids, which is, that this is happening around you. Uh, Stay sane through the process. Nobody knows when it's going to end. I think we all have the opportunity to count our blessings for how much more fortunate we are compared to. You can always look at what could have been if the pandemic didn't hit, but so many people are worse off than we are today. We have the privilege of being in, good homes with access to internet, TV, etc. I think bracing yourself, finding that inner strength and saying this too shall pass is
Yeah,
really, what each one of us has to sort of believe in and keep a positive mindset, because not
yeah,
only does it impact us, it impacts the people around us. It's really critical
absolutely.
as specifically women in the household that, we keep a positive mindset through this.
Right. I think very right. And I also feel, time is one thing that never comes back. If we lose this time and we keep cribbing over it, then it's not going to come back to us. We will only be losing more time. If you've lost money, you can still recover. If you've lost strength, you can still come back and just stay grounded. But time never comes back. So it's important to keep moving on, make the most of things around you, stay focused, stay inspired by so many things going around you and people, such powerful people around you. Stay inspired and move on and take the life head on. Absolutely right, Priya. Very well said. Tell me, Priya. I mean, with the lockdown, parents have been home, children have been home. There have been so many changes: dietary patterns changing, sleep patterns changing. Children have become very irritable. And, I mean, like, what advice would you give to parents today to help bring up a happy child? Because irritable child, it can really take a leap where child actually remain like that, and we definitely don't want an unhappy child around. So what advice would you like, because it's a contribution from the parents also, a big contribution there. So how do they help their child become a happy child and stay a happy child?
So, I think the notion of that you're irritable and the child's likely to be irritable, and chances are they have less of an understanding of what's going on around them.
Yeah,
Providing security through conversation, through reassurances, but also accepting that maybe even you as an adult don't know where this will end,
yeah,
and sitting with them and wondering about it is critical. I always tell parents focus on Maslow's hierarchy right now, right? Which is what are the basic needs. Don't think about why isn't my child studying? Why are they spending so much time on screens? What is going to happen for their exams? exams will come and go. So this is not a time for focusing on, Bloom's taxonomy. How is my child going to become a higher order thinking skills oriented person? This is really about saying, how do I keep my child secure, content, talk to them actively, find avenues to spend time with them. And when you are in an irritable mood, which all of us are, right, with work, home, try to find that distance yourself. Don't take it out. Because of the closed spaces and the fact that we're constantly in each other's spaces, I think when you're going through your own mood swing, it's important for you to distance yourself and not wonder why the child's not providing distance. So I think these are, easy things to do, and accepting the fact that, I think when you talk to children, they give you a lot of feedback on what's going on in their mind. The point is, as against trying to second guess why it's going on, I think asking a child.
Yeah, I think that's quite right. Communication is the key word. Yeah, communicating with your children is the best way to handle them, because that actually gives them a reassurance that they are being, heard. They are being heard, and the parents are interested in their viewpoint and what they are going through, what they think about a certain thing. I think that's really important. That creates magic in itself. It's not about controlling. I think it's more about, that ease between parents and the children on the whole, which makes everything
I think
so
all parents should give up on the illusion that they control children.
control.
Children are
Yeah.
their own beings, right? So,
Yeah.
my principle is that children turn out to be okay, not because of us, but in spite of us. So I think we just have to stop being the control freaks and sort of let them be, and be part of that process, and not try and control the process. So.
Right, very well said. Thank you so much, Priya. Thanks for your time with us. What are, as we wind up this conversation, tell me one thing. When you look back, what is that one advice you would like to give to your younger self?
I think stay curious and, never surround yourself by people who are smarter than you at all points in time. Something that I think, the whole notion of saying, uh, and take a few more risks and be a lot more self-assured, right? So I think the 20-year-old me wouldn't have been as self-assured as the 40-something-year-old me is. The point is that, finding that confidence and that mojo early on, I wish, a lot more younger women would trust that inner instinct, that inner magic in themselves. And probably that's the only thing I would have advised myself.
Great. What are your future plans, Priya? What else? You've really achieved a lot. You're a wonderful mom. You have a wonderful chain of schools running, and you have a good support staff. You have a wonderful family. You have won yourself accolades and awards. What else? You are the power woman in yourself. What else?
I think just continuing to contribute in a meaningful way to women's life. I think this is the tip of the iceberg. There is both globally and in the Indian context so much opportunity. So I think continuing down this path is really what I'm committed to. While I've not been one to sit back and say, oh, this is what we've achieved. It is what you are yet to achieve, and that sort of drives you in the right.
Is there anything that you would like to change from
No,
all that has happened in your life?
not at all. No, not at all. I think it's been a good life. It's treated me well. I've been fortunate. If all of us, like I said, and especially through times like COVID, I think most of us have learned to count our blessings. I think being kind, compassionate, and being thoughtful and giving back is probably, what I hope a lot more of it comes uh, through an event. And a global crisis like this can only bring people together, and I hope positively, not with fear, not with retribution of saying you got it and could I get it, etc. I think there's a degree of kindness that can come through, and for me, I'm genuinely thankful for the life I've had, and I hope we continue to count those blessings in perpetuity.
Great. God bless all of us. Priya, is there any book that is waiting to be written by Priya?
Oh, I'm writing a book. Yeah, but it's still work in progress. I think all of us go through our mental blocks
Yeah,
and energy blocks at times like
yeah,
this. So um, yeah, when it does come about, I'm sure it is on saying how do we raise happy and content children. I think most people will say that's what they want for their child, but
yeah,
it gets mired in, I want them to get good grades, I
right,
want for them to be successful, and success is
yeah.
defined as money, achievement, position, etc. So the hope is really to say, how do you have fun as a parent, and how can you, really enjoy the process of parenting and see the joy in parenting.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you there, Priya. People feel that all the learning happens in the school, but I'm of the view a lot of learning also happens at the home front. What do you have to say to that?
Learning definitely happens all around. So,
Yeah,
as parents, I don't think we contribute more than 25%. The school does. They themselves contribute to, how they reflect, how they think is a big part of their growth journey, and their
yeah,
peer group is the biggest contributor, right? So they learn so much from mimicking. If you watched a toddler and their older sibling, you will realize that they learn the most from their sibling as compared to anyone else. Their peer group influence is massive. So I don't think schools should delude themselves that they teach children. Parents shouldn't delude themselves that they teach children. They all contribute to that process. But
right.
the child is an individual themselves, and they learn by themselves, by their peer group, through schools, through formal networks like schools, and from the values from parents. So
Right. What a wonderful thought, Priya. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot for speaking to my audience. We really loved having you here, and you're absolutely a power woman there. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best and lots of good luck. And we'll be waiting for your book to come very soon.
thank you so much, Archana. Lovely speaking.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much, Priya. That was power woman Priya Krishnan for you, who believes in fixing the crown of the other women. A woman who started a chain of prep schools with the intent of helping women go back to work and with ease. The woman who finds inspiration from her mom is an inspiration to many. I hope she inspired you. So get up and go back to your drawing board and design a life for yourself and fill colors of your choice. I wish you all the best and stay tuned for more.